Hey guys, LMNTRIX here. Hope you're all doing well and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be jumping into a video that is long overdue, Breach's ultimate ability, Rolling Thunder. We'll be going over some of the general information, the do's and don'ts based on my nearly 400 hours invested into mastering Breach, and lastly, why I think Rolling Thunder is one of, if not the best ultimate ability in Valorant. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I hope to catch you on today's stream at around 3 PM Central European summertime. Starting off with some quick general information. Rolling Thunder is his ultimate ability that requires 7 points to unlock and is extremely effective at clearing large areas. It is broken down into 8 blocks, they activate one after the other and each block is wider than the last. Essentially, it is the larger version of his signature fault line ability. It has the same but longer lasting effect on anyone caught in its path. Not only that, but it knocks opponents up in the air, making them an easy target. Now, moving on to the more interesting part of this video. The first tip I will give to you is focus on using his ult in a specific area. Keep in mind that if you know an enemy player is hiding in a deep corner in, let's say, Hookah on Bind, using your ult to clear that area is much more effective than trying to clear it yourself to then use your ult on the bomb site and not necessarily doing any damage. Use his ult to either force enemies to fall back and lose their position or to clear deep and awkward angles that would otherwise be deadly to clear individually. One of the biggest mistakes I found myself doing is, for example, trying to ult across an entire bomb site and in the end maybe hitting one player but not being able to follow up because I left several corners unchecked and end up dying. Here's a perfect example of this where I missed several corners and there was a Sage sitting there waiting for me to push out. I've got my ult. Maybe I could use it this round. On site.
Nocco.
Spike planted.
Look at that.
Ah, she was not stunned.
Backside.
I found his ult to be most effective when focusing on a specific area, rather than trying to hit everything and end up hitting nothing. Something important to note is that you can hear the amount of people that have been knocked back by your ult, as when it throws them up in the air, you can actually hear them land. So make sure you listen to the audio cues, as they can be a great indication as to where an enemy is hiding.
You will not kill my allies!
Let's go!
One enemy remains.
No one beats me.
Something you should be doing with Breach's ult is coordinating with your team what area you will use it on and have them follow up. This of course works best in a pre-made team, but it is also possible in solo queue with the right amount of communication. Following up by yourself right after your ult can sometimes be challenging depending on how many angles you're exposing yourself to. Therefore, having 2 to 3 people in your team push up right after you using your ult is much more effective. Here's a perfect example when I use Breach's ult across B Heaven and have 2 of my teammates follow up for an easy kill on the enemy Viper.
Got my ult, we can do B or mid.
If you want, I can stay back here. I can hit them pretty well on Heaven by B.
I'm impressed.
Up to you.
I'm impressed.
Probably go for it now, actually.
Stand down. Enemy spotted.
I'm dead.
There are many situations where you can use Breach's ult. Some are much more effective than others. Keep in mind that his ult will interrupt the enemy team from planting the spike, and it will do the same if they are trying to defuse the spike. That being said, saving his ult for post-plant is extremely effective, even if you're just in a 1v1, because once you hear the spike being defused, you know exactly where the enemy is and you can really easily take advantage over that. Here in this next clip, you can see that I hide until I hear the spike being defused. Even though I'm in a 1v2 and do not know where the second enemy is, I put a lot of pressure on them by first of all interrupting the defuse and second of all forcing the second player to move completely out of that area. Luckily the Cypher ended up pushing long and I managed to stun them both.
One enemy remaining.
Nice,
Attackers win.
As I mentioned previously, coordinating with your team is the best way to get the most out of Breach's ultimate ability. One of the craziest plays I've ever done is combining it with Brimstone's ult. Keep in mind that we didn't even communicate, but he read my play and ended up following up by using his ultimate ability. Imagine if you're able to replicate this several times when you hear the enemy team rushing a site. You can also combine it with Raze's or Sova's ult, as they all deal significant amount of damage.
just don't feel like using the Cypher ult when it's like 5v1.
Yeah.
That's long.
Nice, dude.
One
Good job.
enemy remaining.
Nice, man.
Wow.
The reason why I think Breach's ult is the best ultimate ability in Valorant is because of how dynamic it is. You can use it in practically any situation on any place on the map. It goes through all objects and it even hits enemies that are below or above you. His ult is by far the best initiating ability and it can be used in combination with every other agent.
The hunt begins.
Steps today. A lot of steps. Come here, right there, right there.
They're stunned, they're stunned, they're stunned.
Too late.
One enemy remaining.
Nice, DJ and LMNTRIX! Let's go, dude.
You can easily come up with several strats around his ult that will make clearing areas and taking over a bomb site a piece of cake. It can be used effectively for defending a retake, to completely stop an enemy rush, and it makes any 1v1 a completely unfair battle. Something to keep in mind, and one of the biggest disadvantages to his ult is friendly fire, and without proper coordination you can accidentally hit your teammates with the same long-lasting effect that your opponents suffer with. So make sure to keep that in mind before using his ultimate ability. But anyways guys, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it and found it useful. If you did, then you already know what to do, and if you're new to the channel and you really enjoy this kind of content, then why not consider subscribing. So take care, stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys later.